Welcome to this video on raised bed grafting and assembly line grafting. We are at the home of Steve and Gail Lawrence, and in their backyard they have a raised bed. Now the purpose of the fence, guess what? What's the purpose of the fence, you think? Oh, deer, rabbits, all kinds of varmints. And let's go inside and take a better look. Go through the gate, and guess who we see over here? Okay, this is Randolph Maphis. He's going to explain all his tricks and techniques. So here you go.
Last week before last, we got trays. We got 5 trays of rooted cuttings from Mark Crawford in these special trays. Then after we built the bed, we filled it with just screen topsoil, nothing else. Marked off 9-inch centers, took the cuttings out of here and put them every 9 inches, okay, in the raised bed. So it took about an hour to plant the entire raised bed with just rooted cuttings. And then what he will do is he will put a little bit of pine straw in here and then fertilize. And the purpose of the pine straw is to keep the fertilizer from washing out. And the rain will tamp the soil down a little bit, and within 2 years he'll be able to graft this raised bed with camellias. Another thing about raised beds is, if you can see on your left here, they make really good places to grow summer vegetables and winter vegetables. And you can see the winter vegetables now, the broccoli and the turnips and the Brussels sprouts and the lettuce. Raised beds are a great way to save space. Okay.
All right, welcome back. We have moved to the Maphis garden, and Randolph's going to continue this video.
The middle of December, we dug 144 grafts out of this bed. Then I leveled it off, put a little lime in it, a little bit of fertilizer, tilled it up, and planted these gallon rooted cuttings. They're a year older than the ones you saw at the last raised bed at Steve Lawrence's house. So I just took a pair of hole diggers and planted them on 9-inch centers, and you'll see I've got a little bit of pine straw in them in order to hold the fertilizer when I put it in it. All right, that's it. This raised bed has 2-year-old Kumagai Nagoya cuttings, and they're plenty big to graft on. So the first thing I do is I cut off the extra like this and get ready to start grafting there. All right, once I get them cut off, they're going to look like this right here. These are the ones I'm going to graft on today. So I've got to get rid of all the straw in here. So what I will do is just blow it away. This allows to have a clear place to put the sand and the cups that cover the grafts. Okay? The next step is to put sand in the bed where you'll have something to anchor the cups when you graft. You just level it off. Then you've got something to hold the cups when you graft your camellias. Okay. What the sand does is the sand holds the cup when you graft it. The next step is to saw them every one off. And so what I will do is I will saw them all off about 2 inches tall now. Okay, every one of them. All right. The next step is dip your saw in Captan water and saw the rootstocks off. Now the first 4 here, I've already sawed off, and I put a little Captan water around them to be just like a doctor, to be just as sterile as possible. Okay, so all I do is I use a very fine-tooth saw. I keep dipping it in the Captan, and then I just saw them off. Pretty simple. After every couple, I dip my saw again and wet them with a little Captan. Okay, so that's the next step. All right.
Okay.
The next step is I dip my knife and I cleft them. And I will cleft sometimes as many as 25 or 30 before I do anything else. And notice I keep dipping my knife in the Captan. I cleft them. After I cleft them, I put a little bit more Captan to try to sterilize them again. Okay. Then I open up my bag that when I cut the signs yesterday, and then I made my I took and carved them into the little wedge shape and made my tags so I can do one right after the other one. So what I do is I put my tags down, what they're going to be. Okay. I dip my signs in the Captan, and then I take the sign and I just stick it in the cleft, making sure I've crossed it. Notice it's not straight up and down. It is just crossed just a little bit. Now this one is Steve Lawrence. So I'm doing the same thing. Notice the sign goes straight up. The rootstock goes over to my left or to your right. The same thing here. And so what I will do, well, I got another sign somewhere. There it is. Okay. I will do the same thing for the next one. Notice, they do not match perfect at the top. Okay? After that, what I do is I take my cup that I'm going to put in, and notice there's a hole in the middle, and I put it down on there. If it comes out the top, then I stick me another cup in there. Okay? Then I take a cup that don't have a hole in it, that's solid, and I put it on top. Now, when I get ready to look at it, if I only have one cup, then I would have to disturb the sand. So what I will do now is pile sand around it. When I get ready to look at it, all I got to do is peek over in it. Okay? After 1 month, I will open it up and I will spray a little bit of pristine or Paget in it, a tablespoon and a gallon of water with a little spray bottle. Then, as soon as they start to grow, as soon as that sign starts to flush, I will take a pencil and I'll put me a little bitty hole right there on the north side where the sun can't shine in it. Okay? Then, as the sign gets a little bit bigger, I make my hole bigger. So I take this one off and save it and put this cup on. Okay? Then, as it grows a little more, I take this cup off and put this cup on. And when it gets ready to come out the top, you can see this cup is I originally put the pencil hole right there at the top. Now, when I take this cup off, I put that one on and let it come through the top. Pretty simple procedure. Okay?
Okay.
All right. A couple things I left out in the last segment. One thing I do after I graft it is I put that tag in the cup. Then I dab it with a little Captan. And I've dipped every cup in Captan. That way the varmints don't run off with my tags. Then I put sand to keep the wind from blowing the cups off. That anchors the cups down real good. Then I put a little sand on top, and that's a little extra shade until they get used to the sun here, because we're grafting in almost full sun. The sand holds the cup. Remember what I said? After 1 month, I take the top off and I spray with Captan. Then when it starts to flush, I spray with Pristine. When it starts to flush, I spray it with Pristine again. And then every time it flushes after that, I spray it. That keeps it from getting dieback into that tender new growth. Then I wait for it to just come out the top of the cup, and I spray once a month. Okay, then in June they'll be about this tall. In July they'll be about this tall. Okay, and we will dig them in either November or December. Yeah, raised bed grafting, I can do 50 just like this in one morning if I've got all the tags and all the signs already cut. And I cut the signs yesterday, and then I whittled them and put them in bags with tags today before daylight, and then I can start about daylight if it's not too cold, and I can do 50. Last year I did over 550, and if you're going to do 550, you got to move. Okay.
Okay.
Around May 1st, most of them will be uncovered. If they're not uncovered, then I take the cup off, okay, take the sand off, fertilize, and start watering about every 3 days. Now, the 1st of May is live or die time. Any of them that the top sign has not grown or the top sign has died, then I take my clipper and I cut that top sign off because there's something wrong with it, and I defer to the blind eye the next one. That where I cut it off, I dab that with a little bit of Captan, and then I continue to water, because you're not going to get too much water in a raised bed. You're not going to overwater, and you're not going to get too much water and cause root rot. In a raised bed, the water just runs out the bottom. And it's pretty simple to take care of them then. You just spray them once a month and dig them up in November or December and pot them up. It's a pretty simple process, and they will have root systems in this kumagai that will be about that big, and a lot of them will be potted in 5-gallon squat pots, which are over a foot wide.
Okay.
These are the grafts that we grafted last January and February. When you came to help me graft the last week in January, we grafted 70. This is how much they've grown. Now, granted, I'm not the tallest guy around. I'm only about 5'8", but you can see all of these are over 4 foot tall. And if you will look, you will see the smallest pot that we could put them in was a 5-gallon squat pot, because the kumagai have huge root systems. That's the advantage of grafting on kumagai, is because Sasanquas and regular Japonicas have very small root system, and you could put them in a gallon pot, or at the most a 2-gallon. These are 5-gallon pots over a foot across, and it makes for saving every one of the roots. When we dig them, we do not cut any roots. We take a potato rake, we dig them up, and then stick our hands down in the soil and pull all the roots out to keep from cutting any, and that way they never go into shock from cutting all the roots. These were all that tall last February 1st, that tall, just like I grafted a while ago.